welcome to Nyberg, and we have two gentlemen with us today that are going to show us all about these pop-ups. We have Mike McGuire, chairman of Structural Graphics, and we have Shin Wakabayashi, and you are a paper engineer.
Correct.
As a kid, I was fascinated with books where you would open them up and things would pop out. So when I discovered structural graphics, it made me very happy because that's exactly what you do. Mike, as chairman, what has structural graphics done over the years?
Well, to your point, we started out as the first company to take the techniques of pop-up books and paper engineering and use them in advertising. So they work in advertising because they break through the clutter, people enjoy them, people interact with them.
Well,
so
they're delightful,
yeah,
right?
and it's the kind of reaction you really can't get in any other media because it's tactile, it's right in your hands.
Right. And you came on board as a paper engineer.
Correct.
Did you want to be that in life? Was that where you were headed, or you just ended up at structural graphics?
Well, through like meeting like a lot of people, whether through college or elsewhere, I ended up right here at Structural Graphics. It was just thanks to a lot of connections.
So as a kid, you were artsy? Did you work with art?
Yeah,
I
like to draw. And as a kid, and then later on when I went to college, I discovered more of like the dimensional artwork or illustration, whether it's with paper or with clay from a college professor.
And then you found the mechanics of how to put this stuff together when you came on board with structural.
Yeah, I learned more about the mechanics and learned more about like how the production process and like whether it's by printing or die cutting and all the limitations that play into the design of.
So you're the wizard
paper
behind this. Just say yes. Yes, he is. Okay.
With other
with other folks,
yeah.
Of course. All right. So Mike, let's go down the street here, if we will, and show folks what it is that structural graphics does.
Well,
and a lot of these are mailers, right? These go out to...
Yes. A lot of it's direct mail. Some of it's, as you'll see later, magazine inserts, things that are bound into magazines. And they all have the aspect of movement and surprise. So if you get this in the mail and you open it up and you see this three-dimensional image here, what it does is it draws you in and you're intrigued by how it works and you spend time with it, and therefore you spend time with the advertising message. So, you know, this is a really unusual example. This is a portable ultrasound machine.
Of course it is.
So the company who makes these, and this machine is this big, and you roll it down the corridor in the hospital, and they said, hey, can you make this a working model out of paper? And we will use this as a promotional device to sell to hospital administrators. So we took the actual machine's drawings, we rendered them in paper, and we created this fully articulated ultrasound machine out of paper. Completely.
It slides, rolls,
moves around. So
swings.
Shin, this must take hours to kind of figure out and cut and see if this moves and in the right direction.
Yeah, for stuff like this, I didn't work on it, but this takes like hours multiplied by days and weeks.
and then test it and see if everybody gets it. And did that come flat?
No, that actually shipped in a box.
Oh, okay.
And one of the cool things about this is a lot of what we do now is designed to have a digital aspect to it. So when we created these, I think we made 5,000 of these, people would get them and then they would film them and put them on social media. And so the advertiser gets multiple impressions by doing that.
Right?
And one guy hacked it and put an electric motor in it.
Really?
And then sent it down a hospital corridor and filmed it.
And you were thrilled.
It was in the client, it was great because the client was thrilled because it got
exactly.
all these different impressions. So people can get real creative with this.
All right, this is Pier 1. Was this a Christmas situation?
Yes, it was. And actually, you know, Pier 1 did a pop-up shop in Manhattan for the Christmas season, and it had a life-size aspects that were in this book. So this was built into a larger promotion for Pier 1 and their pop-up Christmas shop. So this has a lot of characteristics of a classic pop-up book.
What a delight.
And people really can't put them down, which is the whole goal.
And it's a keepsake.
And they never throw them away. Who's gonna throw this away? Right?
Who knew that structural graphics in Essex, Connecticut was doing all this? All right, we've got a bird. Did you work on that one, Shin?
No, that was like right before I got on board.
And what is the purpose of, was this a Christmas card or?
Yeah, it was a holiday card. It's like an accordion style sort of a display where it comes in flat.
Right.
So it's mailable. It's cheaper to mail since
Right.
it's flat, but then it gives that 3D effect when you pull it apart.
These are all just works of
decorate it,
art.
too.
And yeah, it's nice and simple.
Yeah.
And
beautiful.
Yeah, with a lot of impact.
This is Christmas as well. Is a snow globe.
Yes, so this is a three-dimensional snow globe. Here we use techniques of dimension that incorporate mylar plastic and staging. So staging is a technique in paper engineering to show depth, interaction, and make something 360-degree dimensional.
And Chin, this came flat. It comes flat.
Correct.
So it goes like this, and then it just pops up. This is so neat.
Yep, and it's enhanced by the printing on the transparent stock, and as well as the foil stamping, as you can see.
What kind of customers comes to Structural Graphic? Anybody, right?
It really runs the gamut. So we work with some of the largest advertisers and agencies in the country on really elaborate custom projects. But we have a website called Red Paper Plane, where if you wanted to buy 500 cubes and you needed them in a week, you can go click, upload your artwork, and buy them. So
if I'm a small business, I can do this.
yes, yeah. We created Red Paper Plane to take our very best-selling items and turn them into products and make them easy for people to use and to buy. And that's just growing like crazy, because that's a market that never had access to this before.
Right. More things that we have here. We have little cars. Oh wait, what is this?
Well, so one of the things that we really have fun doing is surprising people. So for example, this will come in your mail with what we call a belly band, and then you open it and then it goes like that.
A belly band.
A belly band.
Yes.
Yes, there is such a thing.
Okay.
That's on the
Or you could do
That's okay.
something like that.
And what do I do
you
with
just, You
this?
just pull both sides and
Okay.
open them up, and then,
Okay, so that delights
Yes.
a person, and this is a creativity conference. So that was creative, and how did you? Are these belly bands in here too, or how?
No, these are just, these are rubber band, we call them rubber band activated. So
Of course.
a rubber band is what does, so we just fold it down and we load it in, and then when you open it, it just pops
So
out.
okay,
like
so it
that.
just, of course it does. So it
Right.
goes in there. What?
Right.
So you're kind of sitting on that.
Yes,
to
you are, until you
jam
slide it back
there.
in, because
All right.
who knows?
Shin, we've got a fire engine. What is that?
Well, it's a 3D fire truck, but it's also, it can unfold. It has a bunch of different panels.
Yeah.
With,
Oh wow.
yeah, with a bunch of printing on it, and you can print on like your company's information. And it's a nice little thing to keep on your desk.
Yeah, it's adorable.
And then it's also, a conversation starter too.
And this is for low jack. What'd you do with that?
It's the same kind of mechanism. It has shaped in the shape of a car, and it has all the company information on it. And then every time you open a panel or
Yeah.
a page,
Gives you
it
more
covers
information.
more information.
Okay.
And this was cool because this was actually placed in dealerships, because a lot of the low jack sales were
Sure.
done through car dealerships. So
Sure.
these were in the showroom, and people would be sitting there playing with the low jack car, and that reinforces the message.
Mike, you've been there a long time. What's the weirdest thing you guys have ever done?
Actually, we did a pink flocked VHS cover for Liberace.
Really?
Yes, and so we had to take these boxes and cover them with this pink fuzzy flock. And the thing that was so crazy about that is we did it in our plant, our manufacturing plant, and as people were manipulating the fuzz, it was all floating through the air and getting caught in the
Liberace would- oh.
Yes, it was pink fuzz, and it got caught in the air conditioning. And then everybody had to wear masks, and then we had to clean out the air conditioning after the pink fuzzy flocked Liberace.
Did he love it?
Oh, absolutely.
Do you even
Yeah.
know who Liberace is? No, he's a piano player. He was very over the top piano player.
Yeah, so I would say that, and the project we're about to show you was probably the single most complex projects we've ever done, where a lot of aspects had to come together.
All right, what do we have here, Shin?
This is one of our extendos coupled with what we call pull flip. As you
Yeah.
can see, as I pull this,
Yep. Oh,
here.
wow.
tree
Okay.
pops out. And then turn the page. It has more like areas for printing
Yeah.
stuff.
And you print these outside of in Mexico? Is that where they're
No,
printed?
we
They're
actually
printed here?
we print them primarily in Texas, because
Texas?
it's closer to our assembly facility.
Oh, I see.
Where
Okay.
we put them together. So they're pretty much all printed in the U.S., and we do use our facility just over the border in Mexico
Awesome.
to assemble them.
And we have a castle.
Yes, this actually was an individual who wanted to do their own their own holiday card or event invitation.
So this is just a private
There's
person?
a private person. We may have done maybe 500 of them, but
Wow.
they were willing to do it.
Is that cost effective, or is it pretty, it can be pricey?
It can be pricey.
Yeah.
You know, when we get into a custom design
my
like
gosh,
that.
look at this.
And yeah, that's the family there. We
Wow.
probably should protect our identity.
Can you imagine you get this Christmas card and you go, well, I'll throw away last year's. I don't think so. You're
Right.
gonna have this
Absolutely.
one out. That is gorgeous.
Absolutely.
All right, what do we have here?
Well, you know, we work in light
Yep.
and sound because those are everything that affects the senses, tactile, sound, visual, that makes it spectacular. We work into our pieces. So this particular piece, I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but you can see as soon as you open it, all of these lights light up.
So it runs on a battery?
Yes, runs on a
Okay.
battery, and there's a whole wiring unit that goes in there that we design and then build into the paper piece.
Shin, does the client know what they want, or do you guide them a little bit? You show them, you know, facsimiles of what they can do, and then do you help them along that way?
Right. Generally, the client has an idea of what they want, and we just sort of make it work. And then during the process, there's a lot of back and forth with adjustments, whether it's the design of the piece, whether it's like adding like additional capabilities or mechanisms to it, or adjusting the mechanisms for a better effect.
So you're always
Yeah.
engineering and trying to figure
Right.
out something. Prepare to win. All right. And this is, oh, okay. Oh, for Las Vegas.
Yep. So this was
So this was a ticket.
a promotion, yeah.
Yeah.
We do a lot of corporate motivation programs, trade show invitations, all kinds of different
How neat
things.
is that? Okay, we've been through this. This is another pop-up, yes?
Yeah. It goes flat and then
That's a belly band
Pops up in
again,
your face
right,
again,
or just a
yes.
rubber band. What does this do, Shin?
It's called a rolling cube.
Of course it is.
And as you pull it out of this box right here, it continuously unfolds.
Oh, and forms pictures.
And forms, yeah. And you'll see all the different types of pictures and
That has to drive you
information.
crazy to make.
This one is probably a pretty common
Oh, it is.
mechanism.
See, it looks complex to me.
Like the guy who probably invented this, it probably took him a while.
Yeah, well, I'm
Figure
sure,
it out,
but
yeah.
And the thing about this that makes it complex actually is the placement of the art.
I see.
Because it is a stock design, it's just a classic design, but yeah, it can get harder to do.
And then what do we have here? Juke joint. Oh, some music. All right. So you've got a little battery in there with whatever it is that plays the music.
Yeah, little speaker and a switch that turns it on.
We should just pause and listen, but it stopped already, so we don't have to do that. Oh, well, there, see? We'll put
The
that
gift
there.
that keeps on giving.
Yeah,
It's just
and,
going on.
and what do we have here?
So this is another one of our rubber band activated mechanisms, where it comes in a pretty big envelope. Pull it out, and it's also sound activated.
And some more music. Who's picking the music? The client?
Yes.
Okay. So you don't get to sneak in whatever it is that you guys want.
Oh no.
Okay.
Rarely.
All right. So you did something for Google too. I want to
Yes.
ask you about recently.
Yeah, it was when Google opened the Google store, and it was Thanksgiving, I believe it's 16, so it was a little while ago. One of the big marketing pushes right now is unboxing experiences. So you ship an amazing package to a blogger full of stuff that Google wanted to promote. They get this box, they take it apart, and they go, "Oh my gosh, how'd they do this?" It's hard to describe
So these are
it.
influencers,
Yes,
right? The
it's
bloggers.
it's a big. It's the unboxing experience is a very new and interesting marketing technique and tactic.
Then along came a client, and they wanted something in InStyle Magazine. And this was targeted to 50,000 people.
All right.
And I'm going to, the client was whom?
Well, the Toyota was the advertiser. Their agency was Saatchi & Saatchi.
Yeah.
And they came to us and said, "Can you do this? Can you actually?" And then you have to kind of see it. And we spent about 9 months working
Wow.
this out, but you'll see.
This is pretty spectacular, so we have to see this. All right, your thumbs are on the doors of the cars.
And it's reading my pulse, my heart rate.
How is your heart rate? So that's amazing. This took 9 months, went into InStyle Magazine, to talk about the Camry.
Right. So again, launch of the Camry is it's a new model year, so it's a really big deal. They need to break through against Honda Accord, who also has a launch this year. So this was part of a multimedia campaign. But again, this one has a lot to do with something that's never been done before. They said, can you mix lights and a pulse and put it in a magazine? And we worked it out.
Whose idea? Did you work on this project, Shin?
Yes, it was the client's initial idea. Was they wanted that pulse reader.
So how do you know how to do that?
Well, we have different sources and like China and.
But you have to put metal
electronics.
here, right? Is this a metal?
That's metal.
Okay.
That's correct.
So the reason that works is because my thumb's on here. Now, I probably don't have a pulse, so that's why it's
No,
not
you have to
reading.
complete the circuit.
Oh, so we have to complete.
I wonder if it works with 2 people. I don't think it does.
Let's see if it does. We might be
We've never tested that.
Let's just test that. We're not
We're
hearing-
flatlining,
Yeah,
and
but-
this is not working. Well, I think if you try with both of yours, it'll work.
Right.
but-
So this is really amazing. So you had to come up with the car. It beeps. Now this went out to 50,000 people in December, January. When
No,
was-
March.
Just
It's
March.
the
Okay,
March
this is
issue,
hot
so
off-
this is
hot off
just
the
hot off the
press.
presses. One of the other things about this is that you can't tell this on TV, but it also we coated it with a leather smell.
You did?
Yeah. So if you see if you smell it, it smells like a
I
leather
wish all
interior.
of you could. Wow. So
Yeah.
so was that whose idea was that?
Client requested it, and there are printing processes where you can put scent, whether it's perfume or so it's actually a print process. As the pieces were printed, you coat it with the
Oh my
scent.
gosh. How neat is that? All right, so this was really complex. What's down the road? Do you ever know? Or you just kind of week by week someone calls up and says, I need, I don't know, something that looks like a flamingo and can it fly? I mean, that's the kind of calls you take?
Well, I think a lot of the innovation does come from collaboration with clients who are asking for crazy things to do, and so that pushes us. You know, and for example, what's evolved recently is a lot of what we do is to drive that online experience. So one of the challenges marketers have right now is they've got incredible online assets, they've got email campaigns, and they've got to drive traffic to it.
Right.
So in order to get that digital engagement, they got to do something. They've got to do something extraordinary. So that's what pushes it. For example, video brochures now is a big part of our business. So you open a brochure like that, and there's a little screen, and it has a 30-second commercial, and that's being mailed all over the country.
What are you working on right now, Shin, that you're really excited about? And don't give it away if you can't, but are you in the process of doing some really cool things, and that's why you like your job so much?
Yeah, every day is different. Whether it's designing like different things based on the client's needs. Yeah, nothing's really the same.
But isn't that fun? You
Yeah.
just never know what's coming at you.
Yeah, it makes for a fun life.
So being an artist and working with an X-Acto knife paid off, right?
Right. and then like just putting in long knives.
Yeah. Well, listen, I thank you so much for coming on, telling us about structural graphics out of Essex.
Thank
Shin
you.
and Mike, thank you very
Thanks so much.
And I wasn't targeted for one of these, but you've seen it, so that's great.
We'll arrange something. We'll get you
Yeah.
one, regardless. But thank you, Ann.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Made a trivial pursuits when one this in. Who is this girl? I spent all night kissing, and if was right here, then who else is missing? Got a little sidetracked if I'm as a wish, and I found the keys to the door, but it's also a metaphor. Need to keep locked in the grocery store, but mine just to save time. Skip right ahead to the last ride.